their fists. Bonnie and Mandy. Make sure you're always watching, or you could miss it if they ever kiss. Those two wildflowers did what they had to do, and now they're free. And it's gonna be as wild as it can be, with no apology. Bonnie, Scalsi, and Mandy Jones, Wildflowers, Wildflowers.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're looking live at the Wildflowers. I'm Mandy Jones, the comedian, and as always, next to me is the beautiful
Bonnie Scalsi. How are you?
Bonnie. And I have been doing this show for 54 episodes. This is the 54th
Holy crap.
episode of this
Of
show.
Wildflowers.
Of Wildflowers, but we've done other podcasts together in our previous lives. But this is the 55th episode of this show. It is October 8th. We have an awesome guest with us tonight. But Bonnie, you want to tell them what the topic is?
The topic is going to be pets. Now, Bruno was saying he doesn't hear any sound. So can you just type in, if you hear us, just say, yes, we hear you, so that we know that the sound is doing well. Bruno is saying no sound. But my phone has, what is it called when they put the words up?
Oh, they got their closed captioning.
The closed captioning.
So how is that
Okay, Bruno must have heard us
possible?
because he said 54 shows. Okay, good. Thank you. So, yeah, we had a great time. Did we already talk about the McNeely show or no?
We did, but we can talk about it more.
Yeah, we had a great time at the McNeely show. And I forget what we did last week. I'm like...
It is 55, Bruno. Stop making me check my notes. All right, go ahead.
So,
what'd you do last week? You don't remember?
I don't remember.
It'll come back to you.
But I will plug Kristen Tinsley's having a show this Saturday at Coasters at 8:30 called Vajaspooky. And she's having people dress in costumes. So if you're not busy, please come this Saturday to Vajaspooky. Thank you, Kristen Tinsley. And you are doing the 15th?
Oh, yeah. I got a couple things coming up. On the 15th, I will be at the roast battle that Stephen Rocco Perillo and Travis Grant are putting together for Steve's birthday. And it's a roast battle royale. I'll be up against dear friend Kathy Arnold. She's going down. Going down like the Catalina wine mixer, bitch. No, we've been writing jokes and talking shit constantly. And Kathy's actually coming on the Calamity Jones Hour on Friday, so stay tuned for that.
And we have a show from Wildflowers.
Yes, and then on the 18th, we have a show headlined by Teddy Smith. It is a free show at G's in West Hempstead. If you go to that show... and you say hi to Bonnie and I, you not only get a chance to perform in the show that night, because we have a bonus hat that you drop your name into, you also get an automatic spot on a future show. So basically everyone on the show this month is people that have come and supported us in other shows, and that's how they've got their spot. So we're kind of like doing a reverse bringer thing.
Johnny Lambros is so excited. He's
he's been
love how he's been...
yes, like
it all over.
Ads, audio, visual ads. Danny Miller, my love, is saying hey. We have someone who I wish I could pronounce your name, my queen. Good night.
And Robin DeVito, Bill. How are you, Robin? Bill Hansen, Bruno. And I, at the same night that she's doing the roast battle, I will be at McGuire's in Bohemia at 8:00. And John Truson is in charge of that show. So I'm very excited about that. My boyfriend's tuning in. Our topic tonight is pets. And do you want to say anything else?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Okay.
We can move it along. Share the show.
Oh, yes, please share the show. Thank you. And your mom is watching. She's saying hello, ladies.
Hi, Mom.
Cedric Hooks is saying hello to my beautiful ladies. Long time no see. My bad. I've been tied up. Not that that's a bad thing. Well, hopefully, Cedric, you're being tied up in a good way.
Yeah, pun intended.
Yes.
Someone's tying you up, Cedric.
And I think our topic, most people can relate to this because you've had or you have a pet. That's what our topic is about, pets, past and present. And our guest is an expert in that because she loves animals and she works with animals. And she's new to the comedy scene. She performs all over Long Island. Her name is Jeannie Marie. Everybody give it up for Jeannie.
Woo! Welcome. Welcome. So last time we saw you was in the little room with Terry McNeely.
We're always in the little room with Terry McNeely.
I know. We end up in the little room with Terry McNeely, and we were like, yeah, we're going to have you on, and then the world ended.
Yes, it did. Big pause button.
But we survived, and I'm glad we have you on now.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course.
Do you know how to share the show to your own page?
I thought I was already shared. But
Oh, okay.
I'll share.
Share the show, share the show, share the show.
Sharing.
Everyone,
Sharing.
So you
I'm actually really bad at text.
so do you have any of your own pets that you own?
Do.
What do you have?
I have my American bully, Miss Evie, who all my friends know and love as the hippo.
oh,
She's-
Evie.
Yeah,
That's a cute
she's
name.
Really, really amazing dog that I adopted from the town of Islip Shelter about 2.5 years ago. So she's spectacular.
How old was she when you got her?
They assumed she was about 4 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so she was grown.
Yeah. So where I used to work, we did a lot of work for the town of Islip and town of Babylon shelters. So we would do like spay and neutering, and then like if they had like broken limbs or like needed any kind of like veterinary care, they would come to us. And it was one night I was walking downstairs into our scary basement, and there she was, just sitting in a cage. And she had that kind of a look, and I was just like, oh my god, like I'm so sorry. And I sat with her and I talked with her, and I was like, this dog is just like, there was something magical about her. And anybody who's ever met her will tell you the same. She's just, her presence is incredible.
Aw.
Do you know the backstory of like a dog that's been 4 years old and now like nobody knows what happened to her before or where she was?
I have no idea. One of the techs that I had worked with said she's pretty sure she remembers her coming in with a police officer one night as a stray. But the dog, she like came pre-trained. Like she was already housebroken.
Wow.
She like has absolutely no food aggression. She loves my cats.
Mm.
One of my cats is like her best friend. Like if he gets upset, she's like right there. Like, no, we're good. Let's be friends. Like she's incredible. She walks really well on a leash. She's amazing. You know, she knows how to sit. She comes when you call. Like tell her to wait. She sits there and waits and looks at you. Like
Aw.
it's crazy. But
So you also have cats too?
I do.
What do you how many?
I have a few.
Uh-oh.
We'll leave that number quiet.
Oh my god, it's like an age. It's like and the woman never tells how many cats she has. Like
It's a crazy cat lady.
No, I'm not crazy cat lady numbers, but I do have a few.
But you do have 3
I
cats.
do have a few.
Well, Bill is a man and he has 4 cats, 3 males and 1
Okay.
female. So
Bill.
thank you, Bill, for
Thank you.
like it's not just women who do that; men do that too.
My cats.
Stevie
Some
GB's
people have
joining
like
us.
5 dogs. You just need to have the space for it. Cats, you can get away with having more cats and less space.
Yeah,
Than
like-
dogs, it's like rude.
If I have somebody come to my house, people are like amazed if they even see one.
Yeah, they all chill
They all
out.
just kind of like, I'm gonna watch you from the other room because I don't like this. You're a stranger in my house. Like, how dare you? So,
But
I mean, I used to work at a cat hospital, cats only. So I used to foster, and I would bottle feed, and you know,
wow.
you bottle feed, and you sit there every like hour and a half on a really sick kitten. Every hour and a half, like,
It's like a
syringe
baby.
feeding it. You're like, all right, like you can't die.
It's like a baby.
Aw.
Yeah, it really is.
So here's
Anybody
another
who
man that
wants
has
to have
cats.
Babies, go bottle feed a kitten for a
Yeah.
couple weeks.
Yeah, it's
Get your
similar.
fix.
Yeah.
So Stevie GB has 3 cats. Robin goes, men have pussies. That's funny. That's funny, Robin. And all of Bill Hansen's cats are rescues.
Very nice. Very
Robin was saying she rescued Baby Doll. Is Baby Doll a dog? Or a
Yeah,
cat?
Baby Doll's
think
a
it's
little
it's a
dog.
dog.
Baby Doll's a little like blonde dog.
It's a dog. I know
I
from
don't-
her Facebook
I don't
post.
know. She's some kind of terrier, I'd say.
Oh, she said her owner wanted to put her down when she was 1 year old, and we love her so much, and now she's 14 years old. Wow, so she got the backstory on her pet, but I think a lot of people have no idea.
Don't.
And Cedric has 2 cats, and my boyfriend had 3 cats. One of them just recently passed away after 20 years. He had the cat for 20 years.
Yeah, I know. I was like, that was a really long time to have a cat.
I don't
20
think, I think
years.
that's
20
about
years
as
is
long as they
pretty-
live.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Do you know the life expectancy of cats?
Indoor cats, they say generally 14 years. Outdoor, they're lucky if they make it to like 5 to 7.
Really?
They're
For some reason, I thought
They
cats
get
lived to
beat
like
up at
25.
night.
14.
Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously, you have plenty that live to like 18, 19, 20. Those are usually mean cats.
Now, most people seem to have dogs and cats. Oh, your dad's watching.
Hey,
Guys
Dad.
with cats are weak.
Oh my God, Dad.
You're in agreement with Terry McNeely. He has a whole bit about cats.
Even though Terry has a cat.
Yeah,
Terry
it's
has
just
a
a
cat,
bit.
yeah.
People don't understand that the comedy a lot of times is not really
Right.
what's really happening. You're just like making,
Right.
you're
emphasizing
Yeah.
certain
Right,
things
you're
that
just-
most people can relate to.
correct. So I had growing up all kinds of animals. My mother was a big animal lover.
Oh, okay.
So we had mice, gerbils.
Oh my God.
Parakeet.
Oh my goodness.
And then we had one dog. I was telling them before the show. His name was Buddy. I loved this dog. It was the sweetest dog. And he would run and up onto the kitchen counter and grab the knife. So let's say the sharp
Oh my
part of the knife
God.
is here, and this is the handle. He'd grab the handle, and then this part would be sticking out, and then he would start chasing us around.
Oh
This was before we had furniture. It was a house.
Oh my God.
My house in Syosset. They hadn't put the furniture yet.
Oh
So-
my gosh.
He would chase us around. It was like a circular. The dining room, kitchen, living room was like you ran, and we would just run from him, and it was just so
Oh my
freaking
God,
fun.
that's
It was
crazy.
funny. My boyfriend saying about your dad saying cats are weak. My boyfriend goes, "That's why we have guns." I guess if you have a cat, you have a gun. So, did anybody else in who's watching have anything besides a dog or a cat? Because I saw some crazy stuff go down with the mice. Are you familiar with what mice do? The women mice.
Wait,
Wait.
please.
I have a feeling we're about to find out.
I always had mice and gerbils because I was a teacher, and I would have them
Sure, for
as a
class.
class pet, and then I would bring them home on the vacations. And this one mouse, it was 2 mice. They were white mice, and they were so cute. And I had the wheel for them, and one of the mice ended up getting pregnant,
Oh boy.
and then she had the babies,
Mm.
and the next time I looked, the babies were all bloodied and dead. So we and the father was standing off terrified on the other side. I thought the father did it. So then I separated I took the male out into a separate cage, and I guess he impregnated her before I did that. She gave birth again, and then she was the only mouse in there. She killed her own babies.
Yeah, they tend to do that.
So that was weird.
Yeah, I found that out with gerbils
Mice
too.
genocide.
Oh my God. And the dad just like, what the fuck? Like,
The dad was up in the corner like, oh, she's out of her gourd.
she's
She's
your
insane.
next. She's like, your next bitch.
So Michael's saying he had an elephant, but it outgrew his cage. Yeah,
Oh my God.
that's not true. And your dad says his friend has a real wolf.
All right. I want to know about this real one. That gerbil was a whore.
She was like a Charles
Yeah.
Manson mouse. She was a killer mouse. She killed her own children, which is even worse than a serial killer.
lady
Or at
that-
least the serial killers kill strangers.
And I'm surprised the parents haven't killed. So
Yeah,
not for nothing.
I said the other day to Glenn, I'm like, I'm surprised children are still allowed in public. He's like, what?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, really?
I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anyone. But
Oh, your mom's reminding you. you got a real bunny for Easter one year.
Yeah, Mom, I inadvertently am wearing a bunny t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jasmine, she was a white bunny I got for Easter.
Aw.
But then she got cancer because that's real common with white bunnies, apparently. She got
Really?
cancer of the eyeballs.
See, Jack Scala has a dog and a cat. I grew up with a dog and a cat, and they kind of got along. Yours gets along well.
They do.
My cat growing up didn't really like the dog,
Sure.
but the cat. People
I
think
get
that people think that cats are like weaker than the dogs, but they have those sharp nails.
Oh, yeah.
So the dog would come over to her and be friendly, wagging his tail, and then she'd swipe his nose,
Yeah.
and he would
Right,
run
yeah.
away.
I had a cat who once actually jumped in front of me when my Cocker Spaniel went psychotic and was like coming after me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like
That's kind of cool.
cats will protect you like if they like you. I think that's
Yeah,
the thing.
they're like,
If
what
they
are they
don't like
doing?
you,
They
they're
live
just
life
gonna
on
sit
their
back
own
and be
terms.
like,
They're like, she puts the food
It's
out,
nap
bitch.
time,
Like,
like,
what are you
yeah.
doing? Like, it's so stupid. Cats are, like, smarter than that.
But, yeah,
Bill
exactly.
Hansen goes, I used to have mice, that's why I got cats.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
like they were running around your
Right.
house, Bill? Not as pets. I'm assuming they were running around your house. Yeah, I mean, some people are terrified by mice, and I think they're really cute. I think it's just a personal opinion.
Yeah. When we were in college, we went to the pet store. It was Glenn and some of his roommates and myself. And we were dating already at the time. So we were like, they're looking at pets. And he's like, the rats are cool. Like, look at this fucking
Yeah, some
rat.
people love rats.
First
They're
of all,
smart.
this thing is for fucking 15 years that fucking motherfucker lives for.
15
And
years.
it's the
Holy crap. And they reproduce a lot.
testicles on it, like giant, like honestly, Bonnie, like disgusting, like regular human-sized testicles on rats. Sorry, Mom and Dad who are watching, but I was like, that's not. Glenn's like, oh, we'll name it Splinter because that's the fucking rat in Teenage Ninja Turtles. I'm like, no, that's not what we'll be doing. And
So you
it's
told
not
them
gonna
no rats.
No, what happened was if we compromised and him and his roommate co-parented not a rat, mice, which have shorter lifespan.
Yes, they don't live long.
Less of a commitment. And before college ended, somebody's sister took them. I was like, all right, as
Thank
long as
the
they're
Lord.
going, they're like, you have to go back.
Somebody
like,
took over their
I
license.
was like, yeah, because they're not coming home with me. That's for fuck's sake. Like, that's for fuck's sure,
So, Kathy, we were talking about you. Kathy Arnold's tuning in.
Oh, yeah,
she was
you're going
She was
down,
talking
bitch.
about the show that you're going to be with Mandy. And Kathy said that she knows Jeannie, and she was always harassing Jeannie when she's nervous about her cats. And Robin's saying, my dad bought all 5 of us kids a duckling. Ooh, that's different.
Aww.
But they grew so big, my dad had to cut a hole in the garage so they can go in and out and keep warm. That's an interesting pet that I never heard of.
You never really?
Having
My
a
girlfriend,
gooseling.
when I was like 18 years old. First, hi, Kathy. Anytime you
Hi, Kathy.
anytime for the cats. Anytime. But I was like a senior in high school, and my stupid best friend was like, oh my God, I want a baby chick. Let's go get a baby chick. So, of course, I knew her like a shady pet store. And I
Black
took her.
market.
Yeah, like that one that is just not supposed to be there. She found a baby duckling. She decided she wanted the baby duckling, and then she was like, no, but you have to have one too. They have to be best friends.
And did you do it?
But I've heard of
Did you
chicks.
ever hear of
Not
yeah,
ducklings.
I got it.
peer
'Cause I knew
pressure?
my father would be fine with it because growing up, we had everything. Everything. I had chickens. I had ducks. I had snakes. I had
Snakes.
cats and
That's a
dogs.
different-
And
So
they
you
would
are a
bring
snake
them and
person.
They bring it home.
Let me stop you at snakes.
I like snakes.
I'm not afraid of them, but I wouldn't want one as a pet.
No.
So that was
I
okay.
can't-
So that was your parents' snake.
That was like it was
Like,
like
you-
something they found and they brought home
Like-
and they fixed it and then they like let it go.
if someone was like, I have a snake, it has nowhere to live. Would you take it?
No.
Okay, all right. That's all I needed to know.
Love them. I respect them. I think they're beautiful.
I don't want them to get
creatures.
murdered. I just
Yeah, I
don't
just
think
don't want
they
it in my
believe. I
house.
don't believe they should be in houses.
I agree.
Do you know some
But-
people have tarantulas as
Oh, yeah.
pets?
Yeah,
Which
that
I
gives
think
me the
that-
skeeves.
I would
And
flip
I can
out if I saw
understand
that.
I can understand that. But yeah, no, I have a lot of people that I worked with at the old hospital because I was like that with like a lot of the animals. It was kind of like
So you handle the stuff now?
well, yeah, like where I worked. I mean, we were a specialty hospital, so I had every department that was there. I even had the exotics department. So people would be coming in. We had somebody come in once with a stray iguana. The thing from like tail to tip was like the length of this table.
Yeah.
It was literally like 3.5 feet. And, you know, but we would get all kinds of lizards and we'd see snakes and we'd see mice and we'd see hamsters. And then the people that really loved their rats would bring their rats in and chinchillas.
I brought a mouse to
the chinchillas
my
were
mouse
really
had a cancerous growth that became so big it was the size of the mouse's body.
Yeah.
And he would like walk around with the growth. And they were like, we can't really help the mouse. I'm sorry. And they wouldn't treat it.
Yeah, there's not.
What can you do? You really can't do anything.
You'd be surprised.
But this was a while ago.
We had a client. Well,
now they can do all kinds of things.
we had a client that spent like almost $3,000 to have a mouse removed from her chinchilla like twice.
Wow.
Yeah, that's insane.
Same thing with rats. And rats actually they're supposed to live between like 2 to 5 years. 5 years is pushing it.
Okay.
They're like quick, but they're like dogs. If you can get over the fact that like you're gonna see their scary uncle in a subway, they're actually kind of cool pets. I would never have one, but yeah.
Well, getting back to
the ducks.
Getting back to chicks.
Chicks.
As a teacher, I hatched eggs in the classroom.
That's cool though.
And it could be cool, or it could go very, very wrong. Hi,
Like
Nancy
when the
Reese.
egg doesn't hatch.
Okay, so I did it over a course of a few years,
Okay.
and the incubator equipment became malfunctioned.
Mm.
And so at first it worked great, and you know you'd get the eggs, and you'd
Oh
get
my
the little
gosh.
5-year-olds to turn the eggs every day. It was like a job,
Mm.
and then they hatched, and these gorgeous little chicks would be like, when they dried out, they were so cute. And then we give them to the farm, and nobody knew what the hell happened to them. So everything was well. But then one time, my friend had a chick, and the incubator was a little off.
Oh boy.
And this one chick had a bum leg, and it was like limping, and all the kids were like cheering around it. And the teacher's like, you know, she just like made an excuse like that he's doing a dance for the kids.
Okay.
And then one time I had all of the chicks hatch, and it was really hot out, and when I came in the morning, they were all dead.
Oh.
But I saw that they were dead before the kids got there.
Oh, that's
And
good.
And then all the kids were like, where'd the chicks go? I'm like, oh, you know, the farmer came and he wanted them to have a great house, you know, in the farm.
Oh my God.
I lied to them. I lied to the kids. And I told them that
You
the
went to
chicks...
the great farm in the sky.
Speaking of
sad.
lying to children, Glenn went to babysit. He's about 15 years old. And his mom's, right as she's dropping him off, she goes, oh, and by the way, the kids don't know, but their cat got caught in the automatic garage
Oh, my
opener
God.
and died, and the kids don't know about it. And Glenn was like, thanks for not telling. Like, why did I need to know that?
Right.
Like, why do I need... And the kids, when he was over, they were making Lost, like, let's find our cat posters, like, missing cat, like, with crayons. And he's like, holy fuck, this is so horrible. He's like, why did she have to tell me that? Like, to this day, he's still like, why did my mom have to tell me that? Like, I've heard that story multiple times.
But sometimes you lie to protect the people you love. So Marianne Hill said one of her friends had a spider monkey. You had to wear industrial gloves when you took them out, and they would bite the shit out of the gloves. And I heard when those spider monkeys get angry, they catch it in their hand and they throw it at you. Did that happen to you? Yeah, I think they're illegal. You're not allowed to have them, really. People do it on the down low.
Listen, we had somebody call us one night who wanted to bring us a wombat. People get
Oh my
kinds-
God.
What is a wombat?
A wombat is an animal from Australia that should be there. It's one of those cute little things with a little pouch and just.
I'm going to have to Google
That's
it later.
what Rocco
I've heard of
was
it.
from Rocco's Modern Life, right? So he looks like a... Oh, no, that's a wallaby.
What does it look like?
Sorry.
I actually think
Does it
does
look like
kinda
a bear?
I don't know. We were like, are you this is not a pet our veterinarians can handle. Like,
Wait,
a
wombat.
I think it's a smaller version of a kangaroo.
I'm okay. That's what I was
But
envisioning.
like people are like, I had another person who brought us a finnick fox, which is like the beautiful white like desert fox. It's a puppy. And I'm like looking at them like, why did you have to go and be like,
wombat looks like a.
It kind of looks like a cross between a gerbil.
It looks like a face.
It's like a gerbil
down.
and a prairie dog.
There you go.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
think they're just a little bigger.
Yeah, my boyfriend's saying pet horror stories. Nice show, ladies. Too bad. You have to deal with it.
It's just
Go
pets.
pet your cat.
Every pet's got a
Pete Malloy said he's got a wombat in his backyard, and we love him. I guess it's a wild wombat.
Well,
then.
Pete lives down under. Pete lives in Australia.
Oh,
That's my friend from college.
You're allowed.
Hello, Petey.
Wow.
Hope all is well. Send my love to the missus.
Well,
That's good.
I've
but
got a million
you
pet
can't have
stories
that here in
because
New York.
I had a rabbit, a white rabbit
Ooh.
that I got as a class pet, and all right. I'm gonna give you a spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear this, tune out for a little bit and come back. in 5
Trigger
minutes.
warning.
This is a trigger warning.
Oh,
So this cat was owned by these people, and
no.
she had an allergic reaction, and she wanted to give it a home.
All right.
So I needed a class pet, and I go to pick it up, and the cat had a broken neck. Not cat, sorry, the rabbit, a white rabbit, had a broken neck, and somebody, this guy who owned the rabbit previously, was going to cook it and eat it for dinner, and the kids caught him doing it and stopped him, and then they gave it away, and she took it. She was taking care of it. She got this allergic reaction, so I brought it to class. The rabbit's name was Dusty, and Dusty, when you put him outside of his cage, because of his broken neck, he would just walk around in a circle. So I had the kids sit in a circle, and I'd take Dusty out of the cage, and this was my way of teaching kids about handicapped people, because the rabbit could do everything that everyone else could do. It's just that he had a broken neck. His neck was like this, and somewhere I have a picture of him.
Oh my God.
And
Dusty, what a perfect name.
Dusty. I didn't name him Dusty. They came with that name. And the kids loved him.
I'm sure, because he went to each and every one of them as long as they sat in a circle.
Right. And he just kept going around and around in a circle. And that's how I taught children about handicaps. So Pete Malloy is saying they really fuck up people's cars, the wombats, when people hit them, because they're all muscle. It's like hitting a boulder. That's like deer.
Deer, yeah.
Oh, yeah. In college, talking about college.
They're over here, too, now.
Yeah, they're all over here now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody's killing them off. I guess there's no bears to eat them. I don't know. Isn't that the food chain? Somebody else start talking. I think I'm butchering this show. I'm really taking a dark side.
Oh my God. Well, for Christmas one year, my mom got us a dog that was insane. It was half lab, half pit bull, and the dog, like, literally, you know how the dogs get like zoomies where they run around in like figure eights and stuff? This dog's eyes would roll in the back of its head and run around crazy. It would eat tin cans to shreds.
Oh my God.
It would get out of the fence all the time. It would bring home shoes, and it was my mom's neighbor's shoes. And he was only bringing one. She was only bringing one shoe from each person from each, and I'm like, where is the foot? Like, where is the people that she must be naming to get them? And to this day, my neighbor thinks that the groundhog was stealing his shoes. My mom, he's like, the groundhog keeps stealing my shoes. My mom's like, oh my God, that's terrible, because she just kept throwing the shoes out.
So what happened to the dog?
Yeah, Tiki ran away.
One of these runaway stories.
Another runaway cat. Yeah, he went in the garage. We don't have an automatic garage in my house, but something happened to him. No, I think he's on a farm for crazy dogs.
That's what we hope.
Probably.
But my sister wanted to name him Tiki after the Brady Bunch episode with the cursed Tiki.
The tarantula.
Exactly, the tarantula. So what was she thinking, honestly?
It's
Oh,
her fault.
that's
It
it.
went to
fault.
exactly. It's all Janelle's fault on that one.
So my boyfriend's saying he had a deer in his yard, even in Glen Cove. He has
Yeah.
fox, owls, and raccoons.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he even has a young bald eagle for a while. I've heard this screech owl.
Yeah.
It sounds terrifying. Like it goes ah, and Michael's like, if you ever saw it, it's like so tiny,
Yeah,
and it
they're
makes this
little.
huge sound, and that's why they call it the screech owl. It's
You
really
said he's in Glen Cove?
yes.
Yeah, that whole area around there.
It's
Now,
like
there's,
woods. It's all
yeah.
woods.
Well, I mean, think about, Port Washington. You have all of those little parks, like in Roslyn. They're all over. It's nice. It's nice that you have like hawks and stuff that are like coming back to Long Island, because I remember when I was a little girl many years ago, we didn't have them. It was like kind of like, well, we used to have, but now we're getting all of it back, and it's great. And it's beautiful, but it's a little dangerous because I live in Northport, and like
That's very foresty too.
when I would work overnights, I would get to like right about the LIE on the Sunken Meadow Parkway, and all of a sudden I'd have to put my brights on, and I'd be like this at 4:00 in the morning, waiting for deer to run out in front of me, and I'm like, where the fuck am I? This is
Are
not
deer
Long
stupid? Are deer stupid that they run into the car?
No, I think they're really smart because they see you and they're
Hanson.
like, you're a smart person. You're an idiot, and I'm gonna hit you at 4:00 in the morning. So.
Maybe that's where the expression "deer caught in the headlight" came from,
Maybe.
because they just
They
get out into the road they freeze.
Yeah,
I do that a lot.
I figured that's where it came from.
Yes, Michael, I have seen them. And Bill Hansen has a picture of rats in the feed. And as far as deer, when I was in college, these two guys that were across the hall from me, they shared a room, and it was a co-ed thing. They went on a trip, and they were driving, and a deer ran out, and they crashed into the deer, and it totaled their car.
Oh yeah,
Totaled their car.
Yeah.
Because a deer running this way and a car going this way, and they hit.
Oh yeah,
It's like
Oh yeah.
yeah.
a
The
huge
hooves
impact.
can come through your freaking windshield and
That's the first time I
fucking
ever
kill
heard
you.
about that.
It's like crazy.
I never heard about that
Yeah,
before.
that's why I like driving in like Vermont or shit where there's like moose. Like you can get fucking car versus moose, fucking moose wins. Like
Definitely win. Yeah, moose definitely win.
and that's fucking crazy.
And
Imagine driving like a little fucking
Like a little smart car.
yeah, like a little tiny fucking smart car. Oh my lord.
Terry McNeely is saying, I never knew frogs scream until the cat that visits me brought a screaming frog to his front door.
Oh.
I didn't know frogs scream. Well, now we've been educated.
My door. Wow.
He's Irish. Maybe that's why the frog was screaming. I don't know. He was expecting you to do something, like give him a drink or something. And, he was upset.
Oh my god.
And
No, because he said, brought a screaming frog to me.
yeah,
No, he said to me door.
to me door.
That's what he's saying. I'm Irish.
You know, my daughter is dating an Irish guy, and and his parents have an accent. Like they're both.
Oh, they have a bro?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And
How do
they're
you
right.
feel about it?
I'm okay with it. I actually have never met them, and they've been going out for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So
really?
yeah, I guess that meeting will be coming soon. So I'm okay with Irish people. I mean, I put up with Mandy, so there you go. So my boyfriend said, Bonnie, you have heard the frogs. They scream. Oh yeah, at Michael's house, there's a lot of screaming going on. That's not the wildlife, not me. And Nancy Weems said a friend of hers got hit by a deer on his motorcycle. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, that's fucked up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
oh my
crazy.
God, I hope he is okay now, because that is fucking horrible.
That's a little.
Google screaming frogs. Yeah, we will, Terry, after the show. Thank you.
We'll put it in our feed.
Bonnie, do you want to do the sponsor?
Yeah, let's do
real
the
quick?
sponsors.
We
I
love you
actually saw
guys.
Key. Terry McNeely was headlining a show that Key was in. I think it was Terry McNeely would probably know. I don't know. I get all the days mixed up. But he was in that show, and Chris Roach was headlining it. So Key was in that show, and he is our sponsor. Key's Love Jewelry and Key's Cutlery. Key's Love Jewelry, stainless steel jewelry, all nickel and tarnish free. Key's Cutlery. He sells knives, swords, and self-defense equipment, which is now the best time. You need to buy that now more than ever. Excellent quality for reasonable prices. You can shop online, keyslovejewelry.com, keyscutlery.com. Their new location is in Retro Relics at 2860 Middle Country Road, Lake Grove, New York, 11755. You can contact him and Teresa, who's always supporting him. She's fantastic, at 631-379-1781. Support small businesses now more than ever. Give Key a call and give them your business.
Thank you, Bonnie.
I love Key.
Yes.
I have to get out there. Oh, Terry's got more stories.
Yeah,
he hit a turkey with his upstruck. It was sad feathers everywhere. A turkey on Long Island. Was that on Long Island? We have to know if that was on Long Island or not. I don't know.
My sister.
They're on like Sunrise Highway.
Turkeys?
Like, yeah, like if you
No
start,
way.
like going out to like the Hamptons, yeah, they're all over the place. It's like a group of turkeys or gaggle of turkeys, and then like you'll see a couple of deer, and then some more, and then the UPS truck on the side of the road with the turkey on
My sister's like Cinderella, and seriously, she works out in the Hamptons, and she's like, oh yeah, Westy, and she's talking about this like it's a fucking person. It's a fucking turkey that she visits, that she knows where he's always posted up at. And Glenn, when he hears about it, he's like, well, does it have the beard, or does it have, like, Glenn knows, like, the difference to identify. She's like, oh, no, he's very pretty. When he's talking about Westy.
East Hampton, so that's where the turkeys are?
Yeah, exactly. It's where Westy hangs
I've never
out.
seen a wild turkey. I've never seen. So Andrew Fredner is tuning in. He's saying, hi, everybody. How are you, Andrew? Nancy Weems said, I don't know what hit my passenger car window. It was flying. It was big and scared the shit out of me. How do you guys, okay, we're gonna veer off from animals to bugs, okay? Because that reminds me, like, I'm driving and all these bugs hit the freaking windshield. They're disgusting. And I'm covered with mosquito bites. I'm kind of happy summer's over and these bugs will be frozen to death and die. And that's what should happen to bugs. But I digress. So
get yourself a peppermint plant next year.
Does that get rid of them?
Well, it doesn't necessarily get rid of them, but if you get bit by a mosquito, you break the leaf and you rub it on the mosquito bite, and it'll stop itching in an hour and be gone within 24.
Okay, cool.
Huh,
So
I
we'll
never
just
heard
cover
that.
you in
But
peppermint.
in your experience, does anybody have insects as pets?
Yes.
No.
And do they
what
need,
do they
like,
have?
Are they like operate on it?
Oh yeah,
What happens?
He's got a broken wing. Help me.
Well, like
like a wing for birds, but
tarantula.
Yeah.
Like, do
Well,
they
well,
do
bugs
like,
have
I know
wings.
people that have tarantulas as pets, and I know people that
and
have.
what do they
they're
do?
like
Do they get
stick
shots?
Bugs. I don't know.
The tarantula must come in for its annual physical.
You can call her. We'll call her for the next time we do this.
Oh no, I can't be in the room with the tarantula. Even when it's in a cage, I just. Oh,
They're very pretty. You respect them. You just stay away from them.
Pretty.
they're disgusting.
They're pretty. I mean, like
I think
it's
surely you could find another word.
as long as it's not chasing me, I think it's very pretty.
Oh.
See,
Some
Kathy
of them are really
Kathy
pretty.
agrees with me. That's what should happen to bugs. She agrees with me.
Ah, scaredy cats. No,
And
I'm
just-
someone who's pretty good. I lead stuff out.
Yeah.
You leave.
Lead it out. Like,
Oh,
I will
you
lead
don't
something
kill
out
it.
to the house,
That's because
outside.
you're nice.
You're made
I'll
to be
squash it. I'll take this and just kill it.
What were you
Do
gonna
you
say,
know
Andrew?
most
From
spiders will actually eat mosquitoes?
I know. If the spider isn't too scary or ugly, I leave it to get the other bugs. But if it's an ugly, scary spider, then I will kill it. So Andrew said that reminds me of the deer that came out of the woods all upset and said to the other deer, "That's the last time I do that for $2." Oh, you got me on that one, Andrew. Ta-dum, ta-dum.
Well, yeah.
Nancy Weems says there's chickens that live in Eber City, Florida that protect and are wild. I guess like they're like a special kind. That's a good thing. Is there any protected animal on Long Island that you're not allowed? Like, remember the grasshopper? No, it was the praying mantis.
The praying mantis.
You weren't allowed to kill the praying mantis for some
course.
reason. Like, I'll kill a praying mantis. What are you gonna do? Will Romero! Hi, Will. How you doing? He's my coaster's buddy.
Wait.
He had 15 snakes at some point,
Oh.
and your guest is hotter than a Mexican tortilla. Yeah, and she's coming to our mic, Will. So what do you think of that? She's gonna get her thing together. That's my co-partner at Toasters.
My mom.
Thanks, I think.
My
Yes,
mom's saying
that's a
I've
compliment.
been having cricket wars and I kill them with my Swiffer.
It's different, yeah. Cricket, I have no problem with killing those things.
So is there a protected like animal or bug that you're not allowed to kill?
Well, the praying mantis is one of them.
Just the praying mantis?
I'm
Why
pretty
the praying
like
mantis?
the eagles that we have here on Long Island as well. Are
Right, the
pretty
eagles.
protected, and there's a couple of different like species. There's a couple of different turtles that you have to be like very protective of, and there's a couple. I'm not with the Environmental Conservation Agency, so I can't.
Your
really
job
help
is to
you.
keep them alive no matter what. Whether they're protected or not.
That is part of
Like
my
the
job.
Hippocratic Oath.
It is kind of, yeah.
I think I just butchered that word.
There have been nights that I have single-handedly at 2 o'clock in the morning been handed a dog that's blue and not breathing and have run it through a building screaming for doctors. That's our job. Like, that's what we do. And the fact that, like, people in that field lately have honestly been being treated like shit. So what we do, like most
So
people,
important.
what most people think that when you're coming to the vet, it's great. We're like hanging out, eating bonbons, and like just chilling.
I never
and
thought
petting
that.
kittens and petting puppies and like having a grand old time. And we are, but you know what? You do. You have animals that are actually coming to the vet who are in really bad circumstances.
It's like being a nurse and a doctor in a hospital, and people come in with all their ailments, and you try to help them.
Is they can't tell us.
Yeah, it's much harder.
It's much harder.
Much harder.
You know, so I'm sorry, I don't know where I went with that, but
No, you're right.
I don't know what else is like protected on Long Island. I'm sorry.
So, Andrew, so speaking of wild turkey, occasionally I see a cox come out of the forest on the side of the road. Oh, Andrew, you're on fire tonight.
Jesus.
Do you know what I heard? I heard wild turkey actually tastes better than like the crap we buy in the supermarkets.
I wouldn't doubt it. The stuff we buy is
Somebody's
pretty
going to have to
pumped
get a
full of
gun and
garbage.
kill them.
And
serve them up for dinner.
Get Terry to like start like running them over in the street.
Terry goes fishing. Does Terry have a gun and shoots wildlife? I want to see him and Tony and the Dovey go hunting and bring back
God,
a wild
help us
turkey.
all.
And then we'll cook it up and serve it.
Jeannie, what's your spirit animal?
That's my spirit animal.
Yeah, we're talking about pets. We're talking about animals.
A spirit, one you identify with, right?
Yeah. If you were an animal, what would you be?
I couldn't even, maybe a mouse, because I would
okay.
bang the shit out of my man and then kill my young.
Oh my God. All right. All right.
That's a great callback.
But mice are so cute. Mice are cute. I can
give
see
you a
that.
10 out of 10
I
on
can
that.
see that. All right.
What's your spirit animal, Miss Mandy?
Yeah, what's yours?
I used to always say a bear, but recently I've been obsessed with the albatross. And then the reason started is because my cousin, she was hugging us leaving one day, and there was like 5 of us hugging together. And she's like, I feel like an albatross because they have the largest wingspan.
Ooh.
But I was reading up on them, and there's like all these omens about killing them, and sailors used to think that they were dead sailors because they're so large.
Okay.
So like it was a bad omen to kill them. But some people think that they're like, it's like good luck to see them. So it was like a whole, I don't know, I was looking into them. I never liked birds until about like 5 years ago, and now I'm like obsessed with birds. I would never own a bird. I think that's fucked up.
My first pet was a parakeet, and we called him Mr. Bird. And my brother's autistic, and so when my parents would go out and we had a babysitter, they'd put the parakeet on the parakeet would step on my on my finger, and I'd distract my brother, and I'd go, look at the bird, and my parents would hit the door, run out. And the babysitter would like close the door, and then my brother would notice they'd left, and he'd start screaming. But that was my first pet, Mr. Bird.
Mr. Bird.
And he was a parakeet.
What kind of parakeet? Like
the ones
color?
with the blue.
Oh, the crystal ones.
They're so cute.
They are pretty.
Yeah.
They're
And he would
very
fly around the room, and then land on my head and poop on my head. He would fly to my finger and stand on my finger. That was my first pet.
That's a nice pet.
Yeah. We were in an apartment in Bayside, so you weren't really, I don't think you were
Listen.
allowed to have cats.
That's okay. I think having birds is a beautiful thing. I kind of
Yeah.
agree with you, and like think they shouldn't be in cages, but
I kind of feel the same way about as much as fish tanks are cool and I
Yeah.
respect how it's a really big hobby. I don't get
they're
that.
awesome. But
I don't think there's any reason for it, and it's
Say that
kind of
again.
like
What?
stinky,
Fish tanks.
like
Oh,
having a
fish-
fish,
Oh.
like owning fish.
I agree.
My mom's fish, Mozart, used to jump out of his bowl, and so one day my little brother comes home from school. My brother was probably like 13 at the time, and he sees Mozart on the floor and just like walks by it and goes upstairs like, I'm not dealing with a dead pet right now. So my mom comes home from work and he's like, oh, hey, like, how's it going? And he's like, you see the fish like on the floor? And she's like, what? Like, oh my God. And my mom like seriously like went like this and like threw him in the water and he lived. And then like if he had jumped out the second before my brother opened the door, the fish was outside of water for at least 17 minutes. Like, it was like my mom seriously was like, it was so long in between. And so then she just started putting a piece of mail over the top so that he couldn't fucking jump
Fish
out.
try to kill themselves.
Obviously.
And the snails, too. And
wouldn't you if you were swimming around the same fucking 2-inch
Yeah,
tank over
Mozart
and over and
was-
over again? I'd be like, oh my God.
He was
my
suicidal.
my ex
Makes sense.
husband had a fish tank, and it became like dark and all these nothing would kill these fish, the beta fish. And the
they
fish
don't
tank,
die.
it's really
They
hard to
don't.
keep the fish tank clean. So,
Oh, yeah, it's gross.
so finally, the only thing that killed these fish, they've survived everything, was Hurricane Sandy. When we lost our power for
Finally, you're out.
2.5 weeks. I had autistic kids without fucking electricity, and the bubble thing that kept the oxygen for the fish tank, it stopped, and that was the only thing that killed those fish. So Terry McNeely said, I had an 18 lizard iguana named Mr. Bigglesworth, and it bit me. My mom had an iguana. No. What was the thing you said?
An iguana.
Iguana.
Yeah.
She had that as a pet because she worked in a special needs school, and she took it home, and you had to feed it live bugs.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
But you
It's so
hate
disgusting.
bugs.
I hate
would think
bugs.
that would be like easier for you. Like, here, I hate these things. Eat this.
No.
It's different, than feeding it a live like mouse or something.
Your mom says Janelle put her fish in her bed under the blanket, told me it was cold. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, I have to say, if you have kids, the best way to teach them about death
To
is
give him
to
a
get them
goldfish
a
to
pet,
kill.
especially like a fish.
That's a good
because it's a
because you get them a pet and teach them about death, not about taking care of them or responsibility, but about
well,
death.
it's both. It's like you
This is
took
what happens when you're not
responsibility.
responsible.
You took care of the thing. You gave it your
And you
blood
didn't
and your
do a
life,
good enough
and it
job,
died
it
on
died.
you. It died on you, and now you learn about death. That's it. So yeah,
Next time, walk it more and feed it more.
be a better caregiver. So Mary, your mom said. Oh, I said that. So Terry McNeely said you have to feed the lizard bugs, and you have to feed the bugs apples. The circle of life never ends. Lots of work. That's disgusting. So Terry, did you have that pet? I love your mom.
larva.
Your mom had the pet, and you were just a
A bystander.
a bystander. So Andrew said, that's a cool name. Love Mozart, but what bothers me is that everybody claims I have heard of him, but nobody has ever seen anything he's painted. Isn't Mozart
Wait, what
isn't Mozart a musician?
Pianist, yeah.
Okay.
He's like,
I think you got that wrong, Andrew.
Next.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Robin.
that's
We love
the
you,
joke.
Robin.
And Robin saying you guys are hilarious. And also, I missed before Robin said that albatross are mean and they bite your face
An
off
albatross is
until
a fish, right?
until you have to shoot them.
Is
It's
an
just-
albatross a fish?
So I have to carry a gun when I hang out with you, huh, Mandy? Okay, great.
and
Is an
also be
albatross a
fearful
fish?
that I'm
I
the
think so.
dead sailor.
Isn't it like an albatross is like a
Robert
tuna,
Soleil.
right?
Robert Soleil it does our song at the beginning of. He's from Street Fighter. He does our song at the beginning of our podcast. He is having a Beatles night. Sorry, it starts at 4:00. Beatles. I want to go, but it's on Halloween and starts at 4:00. And I was going to take my son trick or treating, so I'm going to see what I can do about that. But if you love the Beatles,
I love the Beatles.
Robert, type in where that's going to be. And what's really funny is his partner who sings the Beatles songs with him, Joe Scolio, who you met,
Yes.
blocked me because I'm a Trump supporter, and that would be awkward if I came because
Oh God.
Joe had nothing
Leave it on the
against
internet.
me, and and he asked,
You took
if
your
you
bourbon.
support Trump, answer this question. He asked, so I answered, and he blocked me. Okay, it's at the Warehouse. The Warehouse on Halloween. If you love the Beatles, oh my God, it sounds exactly like the record. They're freaking amazing. Even though Joe Scolio doesn't like me because I'm a Trump supporter, go and support that if you love the Beatles. You read Andrews.
Well, and also Terry's saying, but Jeannie better not be drinking my bourbon. You took the bourbon home last time, and we always have more here for you. And she's not even drinking.
Wine.
She's drinking
Red wine.
She's
It's only
drinking.
red wine, I promise.
All right, and I
Not
love.
tequila. Tequila next time.
Andrew saying, I love the Beatles. As a matter of fact, the other day I went outside and accidentally stepped on one, felt bad, and thought nobody should have to die twice.
Robert, Joe does know who I am because I took Joe to John Lennon's house. We had him on our podcast. He knows exactly who I am. He blocked me because he's a liberal nut job, even though I think he's very talented. He's a liberal nut job, and he blocked me because he asked a Trump question. He said, "Oh, if you like Trump, what? Like, I want to
He
know
said,
your
I
opinion."
want to know
And
how
then
you
he
feel about
blocked me.
Trump. And then when Bonnie
So,
said how she felt,
believe me, he knows
blocked her.
exactly who I am. But I love you, Robert. So I'm going to see if I can
All right,
figure
well,
it out.
Bonnie, you can wear a mask.
Yeah, I'll wear a Halloween mask so Joe won't recognize me.
Go incognito. Anyone want a
Please
leopard
share the show,
gecko?
everybody. Share the
Says
show.
Nancy Weems, what are you selling them, Nancy? You got to fucking connect.
Yes, no politics. I'm sorry, Mary.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
right.
Mom.
Politics.
But it just like lent itself in there because Joe
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Robert are tied together. They're from Full House. It was the original band Full House.
It's all right. We'll leave. Honestly, Halloween, they're not going to. He doesn't give a fuck. And they're keyboard warriors. Not him specifically, probably him specifically, but everybody just fucking talks a lot of shit from a safe place.
No, I'm okay that he blocked me. It's fine.
Room for more friends there.
Yes.
You know what?
Yes.
It's probably good. That
Animals
it was
don't
blocked.
have politics.
You don't get to see each
Right.
other's bullshit, and you can just be friends without.
Right.
Right.
And that's why we put it aside for an hour. And that's
Yeah,
why
you have to.
what's the worst pet you've ever had? Ever have a bad pet? Pet that
No, never.
did. Really?
You're animal lovers.
Like I'm saying, like my mom had definitely got rid of my
dog.
dog.
I ever had, his name was Frank, and I still am not divorced from. But that's okay. He would come home drunk and prove he wasn't potty trained.
Oh yeah, a lot of people who are pet owners, you have to clean up a lot of shit. And it's like having children.
Ugh.
No
offense, I'm sorry.
They
It's like a
make
natural-
such a mess. I love my cat. I have a cat, Bella.
Knee jerk.
You have
She's-
a cat, Bella. What color is she?
She's black.
She's all black.
I love black cats.
Me
Yeah,
too.
there's something
They're
very
good luck.
special about
Especially
black
now on
cats.
Halloween. They like fit in like a Halloween
Yep.
decoration.
Nope, perfect.
Oh, thank you, Michael. Yes, Michael bought me that maid outfit. So I
Sorry.
wore it for Michael.
Terry saying Bonnie's talking about Trump. I'll never watch this show again. # triggered. Yes, we are triggered up in this.
We
bitch.
don't usually talk about politics.
Terry, we're upsetting my
I'm sorry.
mom. Okay.
Yeah,
All
no-
right.
no
we would do the same for Barbara.
Yes.
Barbara.
So how are we doing on time? I'm like,
We have 5 minutes.
you want to plug anything, Jeannie?
Me? Plug anything? No. Nothing much that I want to plug. I'm actually a relatively boring person.
Oh
Take care of your
no
pets.
way.
Take care of your pets. Spay and neuter. And then come to like the comedy shows. Come out, see your friends, bring your friends, bring boring people to come to comedy shows. And, like, let's just kind of do it. The world needs a really good laugh right now.
Yeah.
Because there are too many tight-assed people that just are getting more and more tight-assed. I think if we had enough coal, we could make a lot of diamonds.
That's a very positive message. I love that. I take it as a positive message.
Fresh
so
air creates
true.
diamonds.
Yeah.
Dogs look like their owners, and some are really ugly owners or mutts. Yeah, no, I could see that.
Yeah, Robin, you're right about that.
She is right about
Robin's
Yeah, I always
very intuitive.
I always envision the beginning of the cartoon 101 Dalmatians, where like the lanky lady is walking like the lanky dog, and short fat guy's got like the pug.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Listen, pay attention to what you're adopting too. Don't go buy a $5,000 French bulldog because your neighbor has one. And don't go buy a Finnick fox because your neighbor has a French bulldog and you want to be better than them.
Yeah.
Do the right thing.
Using dogs as like a status symbol
Like,
of how rich you are.
Listen, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Pay attention to the breed. If you really want to have a pet, pay attention to what the hell you're bringing in your house. Unless you're
It's going to be part of your family.
Well, that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
It should be that way. But so many people are like, well, I'm so fancy. I'm going to get a French bully because everybody's got one. You know what? That's great. But it's going to cost you about $15,000 in the end with back surgery and nose surgery and soft palate surgery and every other thing in between.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, I'm a big mutt
It's insane.
person. I love mutts.
Mutts are the best way to go.
My dogs were mutts.
But mutts. Don't go to the pet store and be like, well,
no, I get them from
Yorkie poo. So it really is like a designer breed. No, go to the shelter.
The shelter.
Actually save a life.
Yes.
Save a life. Because they're in that shelter for God only knows what reason. Their owner died. Something happened.
Yeah.
Somehow they got lost. Something happened to bring them there. It's not that they're a shit animal. It's just they ended up there and they need somebody to take care of them and love them. Do the right thing. I know it's a horrible process. You basically have to give blood and prove that you're not like the most
That was one of
being.
the things that I went through to get that cat.
It took me a month
I had to get
my
like
dog.
like character witnesses.
Yeah.
And like to say I got my.
I get that.
But
and
I get it.
It's awful.
It's a life you're in charge of.
And that's the point. It's a life you're in charge of. Don't go to the pet store and be like, well, here's my $5,500 that I'm going to finance now because I want this dog. Because you know what? That's stupid. Go and don't buy that dog and then tell me you rescued it. You didn't. You bought it.
I rescued it from Petco or
Right.
whatever.
I rescued it from the paws, Happy Paws. Go to the shelter. Put the work in. Find the right pet. It's really not hard if you actually take the time and have the patience. It's not hard.
Yeah. No,
Not
that's a
everything
great
in
point.
this world is instant gratification.
Yeah, and with online, you could read into different places, and there's reviews on all these places, just like there's reviews on businesses, so you could see.
What kind of breed it is before you bring
Right,
it.
right. Because some of them are high energy. If you're a lazy guy, don't get a fucking dog that wants to run around all the time.
Like a husky. If you live in a one-bedroom apartment, don't get a husky.
Right.
It's not going to be happy.
Figure out what fits into your life. Frank Peters is tuning in. He said, "Good evening, ladies. Greetings from Seattle this week."
Hi,
Seattle. Wow, that's really cool. And Nancy Williams says overbreeding causes lots of problems,
Yes,
and that's true.
Well,
you probably know a lot about that.
Of course. People get animals and they're like, my dog is so great, I'm going to breed her. Why? Don't fucking do that.
And they try to make money off the animal.
They try to make money off of it because there's plenty of people that just want to make money off of it. But then there's people that, seriously, are like, well, my dog is so great. I'm going to make so much money and, we're going to breed her because then we'll have great dogs. You get 4 puppies out of that. 1 is going to end up dead. 2 are going to end up in the shelter, and maybe 1 is going to end up with somebody who actually cares about them. And that's the truth.
Yeah. And the truth hurts, but it's true.
It is.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
no, it's good. No, and
I just think it's funny.
No, it's fine. And I think 2020, a lot of people, because they were working from home and staying home and stuff, went out and did get dogs.
And
And
they're all
like,
back in shelters. So if you want
because they're like children,
like,
they're not
cute puppy. Go to the shelter.
If you're gonna get a pet, you have to take care of it. And I got my cat from my daughter, who swore to me she would help me take care of the cat. You know how long that lasted? About 6 months.
Yeah.
And now
about 6 months?
about 6 months she helped me
really
feed
good.
the cat, and now the cat is about 12.
Ooh.
And who has been feeding the cat, taking care of the cat? Me. I've kept that cat alive, and that cat was for my daughter. And she goes off and she does whatever. But she's a good girl. I'm not throwing my daughter under the bus. I'm just saying. So Nancy Weems says Boston Terriers are smart but have eye issues.
They do actually have eye issues. Boston Terriers are great family dogs, but they have bulging eyes. You're gonna have an eye issue.
Oh, shoot.
But that's like the same thing. Like if you go and like, have you ever noticed they have like little bulgy eyes? But they're part of like the bulldoggy thing. So like some of them have bulging eyes, and they have like, but they're like the best.
They're very cute.
They're the best family dogs. Like they're amazing. So
Andrew goes, I'm going to get a husky this winter so I can have some help getting my car out of the snow.
God bless you. Have fun.
And he said, my dog has a stutter. For some reason, he keeps on saying woof. What, Andrew, you're on fire tonight.
But guys, it is after 8:30.
Oh, shoot.
That is the
Thank you
no,
for tuning
not
in.
at all, not at all. We had a really good time tonight talking about pets. Thank you, Jeannie, so much for coming.
Thank you.
I'm so glad we find
You were awesome.
I'm glad we got you here.
I'm so sorry it took so long to get you on here. You know, because it was pre-pandemic.
I know
I went to a job that made sure I had absolutely no life whatsoever. I mean, it was great that I actually got to work during the pandemic. I was very lucky, but
you
almost
worked.
killed me. So the fact that I get to do this now is fantastic, and I'm so thankful.
You
that
were
you guys
awesome.
I'm really glad you
You
came.
were awesome.
Very sweet. My mom's saying the show made her day. Love you,
good.
Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Thanks,
Your
guys.
mom is great. Your mom is great.
Get home safe, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Share the show.